if I'm not feeling well, what things can I change? And on that note, when you look back, like, do you still have any lingering issues from being vegan for as long as you were, or were you able to pretty much clear up everything?
No, I definitely have some lingering issues, and that is a part of having gone at it so hard for so long. Now that your listeners know my journey, being vegetarian and then vegan afterwards, some people can heal pretty quickly and heal pretty much everything pretty quickly. But I usually find those people didn't eat a plant-based way of living for very long. They may have dabbled in it for a year or two. For myself, I know it's going to be a long journey. I continue to dump oxalates. And by the way, for those that don't know, oxalate dumping is when those crystals that you ingest in plants start moving out of your body, and they go in painfully. And trust me, they come out twice as painful. It is not an easy thing. And there's only a few ways your body can excrete these crystals, these defense chemicals out of your body. One is through the stool, the other's through the urine. Think kidney stones, the saliva and sweat. That's how we get those things out. And I continue to battle those. As Sally said, the dumps, as they're called, will get shorter in duration and further apart. But I know that it can take years. It can. But the incredible healing, the amount of exercise I'm able to do now, the weight that's coming back on me, I've gone from 127 pounds up to 100 and almost 68, 70 pounds now, but mostly muscle. And I continue to put on weight, which is unbelievable for me. I look and feel like I'm 25 years younger than I am now. I feel great. I'm 50 years old and feel like I'm in my 20s again. I really do.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the only lifestyle where you see that. Like, you follow people enough in this world, they are literally reverse aging. I would submit that most people look like they're going the wrong way. It's
Yeah.
like Benjamin Button or whatever. Like they look like they're getting younger as they're aging. It's crazy.
This is it. And this is why the secret is, there is no secret, as I posted about. The secret is there is no secret. You can do this. You just got to stick to what is the most beneficial diet for you. I fully believe that is removing things like sugar and toxic seed oils and controlling carbohydrates. And, the list goes on, adding good animal-based fats in there. God bless Dr. Ben Bickman, prioritize protein, control carbs, and fill with fat. I mean, there you go. And, you can thrive on this way of eating. And I am evidence of it. So many other people we talk to have that evidence as well and are out there telling the world. And you just got to listen and be willing to try. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid. Don't be afraid. I was so concerned, Casey, for so long of doing things the wrong way. Oh my God, I'm not eating vegan the right way. Oh my God, I'm doing carnivore the right way. If I post about the fact that I added berries and bananas back in my diet, I may get excommunicated from the community. Come on, no, this is crazy. No, I actually had that thought cross my mind, but your listeners should know, and this is Casey. Let me say this. This is where it's so nuanced for people. Okay, you have members in the community out there saying beef, salt, and water. God bless Michaela Peterson. That healed so many things for her. Just down to that. And it's such a great way to heal so many autoimmune related conditions because you can add things back after that and figure out what is not working for your body. It's an elimination diet. Some people may need to stay eating that way forever. It's just that's them. For me, because I'm coming from such a high oxalate laden background, and it's not all just oxalates for me, but mine was particularly high. Sally told me, and God bless her, and said, "Don't, hey, don't eliminating everything at once on this journey. You will be in a world of hurt." And that's what happened to me. I went down to nothing, and I was like, "Oh my God, why am I feeling so terrible?" She said, "You need to add some low oxalate foods and fruits back in to stop this dumping process, or you're going to be miserable." So I had to add things like local bananas back in and some berries. That's pretty much it to stop the nighttime cramps and dumping process, or even have a tea bag, because tea is high in oxalate at night. That's not strictly carnivore, but we have to do these things to figure out what's working. That's the simple truth, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Monique Attinger just told us on a recent interview, one way you can do it as you're stepping off. She's known as the low ox coach on Twitter.
Yep.
One way you can do it is like have a few days of very low oxalate foods, and then one day where you do have a bit more of an oxalate bomb. More so than you're probably comfortable with after learning about oxalates and wanting to get past that phase. But you're right; it's not just something that you can easily back away from. You got to do this very carefully. So I think that's really smart. Tell us a little bit more about your evolution with foods. Like, what when you first started carnivore, what did your diet look like, and now what does it look like, and how has that changed over time?
Yeah. So when I first started, as I mentioned to you, I was eating a lot of fish. I added sort of the white meats back in, the chicken and the porks. And because I had a hard time digesting red meat, it's just, and I was clearly not fat adapted as I started. It was really rough, man. For those that don't know, as you begin to get fat adapted, I went from the spectrum on veganism and being constipated to the complete opposite, as you know, on carnivore, trying to get the fats in there. Diarrhea is something that happens as people transition. We are talking reality here, Boundless Body Radio listeners.
That's right.
But so I did that slowly. I ramped my fats up slowly, also because my gallbladder was kicking back in, and it's not having to work so hard and squeeze that bile out to get to help break down the fat. But once I added the red meat and could digest it back in, Casey, I am a steak fanatic now, man. I am a brisket fiend. I love my steaks. Everyone loves a ribeye, but in terms of my diet, I eat a lot of eggs daily now, especially in the morning. I'm a breakfast guy. I know some people aren't, but when I get up, I want to set myself up, just myself, for the best day possible. I have a full breakfast, usually 4 eggs, some turkey bacon, two 80/20 ground beef patties, and some raw cheese and a glass of kefir. That is my breakfast pretty much every day. Beautiful breakfast, man. I feel so great on
Sounds
it.
amazing.
I'm satiated pretty much all day. I will, after I exercise, have sort of a protein type shake and some more hard boiled eggs. In the evenings is where I like to experiment with my meats. I get the pressure cooker out, or the air fryer, or the grill. And I usually have a couple of different types of meat, because my wife tends to prefer chicken and I prefer the red meat. So I'll cook some chicken for her and I'll have red meat, but I'm not afraid to experiment, man. I'm excited now to try different forms of meat and duck and you name it. I'm going to try it. And in fact, I'm off soon for my 50th birthday up to the beautiful state of Alaska, man. So I'm excited about that.
Ah, wow, cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah. So last time I went, Casey, I went as a vegan. This time I'm going as a meat eater. So it's going to be much more exciting.
So much of a better experience. That's amazing. I don't think a lot of native vegan foods grow around Alaska. I think you'll have
No,
much better
it,
luck.
it was really tough last time, man. I could smile about it now, but they looked at us like we were nuts. Like, you came to Alaska to eat plants? Dude, have you seen what's outside the window?
That's hilarious. Wow, that's amazing. It's really interesting in this type of world also. When somebody learns the proper diet, they also seem to kind of figure out all the other things with lifestyle that really helps them out. So, yeah, I love the nutrition lever. I think for most people, it's the best one to pull first. And I think once you do that, you start to check some of the other boxes for like healthy lifestyle. But again, it's interesting to see how homogenized this has become with a lot of people who are in this lifestyle. We all kind of tend to end up doing a lot of the same things, on our own. We have a lot of similarities. So tell us a little bit more about some of your other favorite lifestyle hacks and things that you do to stay healthy.
Awesome. I love it. I love talking about the other hacks because, people, we all post and talk about food a lot, but there are the other hacks that are just so great too and so beneficial. So as the brain fog started to lift and I was listening more, I started to listen as you so clearly and eloquently put, that so many people that are on this journey of pulling that diet lever first want to figure out how they can optimize their health even further, right? So one of the first things I did to do that was grounding every day. So in my stories, for the listeners, if they end up following me on Instagram, you'll see me post, and it keeps me disciplined to it, that I get up every morning to watch the sunrise, getting that light through your eyes, to see the first light of the day, and grounding at the same time, which is basically barefoot on the earth, to get those negative ions, because we spend far too much time in front of screens, don't we all, despite our best efforts? We have to these days. And just that simple process of grounding, looking at the sunrise in the morning and the sunrise and grounding in the evening, helps set the circadian rhythm. I just use it as a time to reflect on what I plan to accomplish for the day and what I have done that day at the end of the day, and looking forward to the next one. It's a great way to just get your mind right before you sleep. And that's a great segue into sleep and things that you can do to help your sleep, because that's the next biggest lever for me, even sometimes above food. But sometimes, as you know, Casey, it takes the food and the diet to get the sleep better. So it can come first or come after the food. But after food,
Great
I
point.
think I think the sleep is a huge one. And We all know a cool room. We all know sleep hygiene is being so important. You know, I wear an eye mask that blocks out all the light every night. I make sure that, you know, I feel like an old man in that regard. Even though I feel like I'm 25 in physical age, but I go to bed as soon as the sun goes down now, 9 o'clock, 9:30, I'm in bed, man. And I'm up at like 4:30, quarter to five every day to greet the day. And it's just a wonderful way of living. And you'll find, you know, we do all our healing at nighttime, don't we? We do, our body, you know, releases all the toxins from its brain, you know, the lymphatic system, and, you know, we build our hormones and repair tissue while we sleep. It's so important, especially if you're like us, especially you, physically active during the day. You want that time to be able to, you know, repair the body. Something else that I've done is I've added infrared sauna and cold plunges in. And I did that actually before I even went carnivore, and it was beneficial. It was helpful, because I was trying to figure a way, you know, for someone that's trying to get toxins out of their body. When I was in my deep dark days, one of the few things that I could do was try and get a sweat on during an infrared sauna session. You know, one of the things I noticed, Casey, back in the day when you asked me, you know, should I have noticed when I was younger in my vegetarian days, was there anything that, you know, I noticed now versus I didn't put together when I was vegetarian, was I couldn't sweat. No matter what I did, I lost the ability to sweat. People would remark on it. I'd be out in the Bermuda summer heat pedaling to work, and I just would not break a sweat.
Wow.
And as we know, that's the main way the body expels toxins. It's a sign that something's not working right. That and the sex hormones. But yeah, infrared sauna and cold plunges. I basically fill up my bathtub with ice. I did one this morning after did my walk, and just got cold, man. It's great. The hormesis, that benefit, it's really clears the mind. Got me ready and excited for our talk today. Yeah, those are
That's
a few.
amazing.
Yeah, man. Those are the few of the
Yeah.
things that I do, and I do the grounding every day, twice a day. I do the saunas probably, you know, it's summertime, not as much because it's so hot here, but you know, at least once a week. The cold plunges definitely a couple of times a week for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was going to ask you about sauna. Is there a particular timing in the day that you like to do that?
I like to do it post exercise, believe it or not. I like to get a little bit of a lather going now, and that's so that sauna brings even more, because the lather from the exercise and the exercise itself is creating that little bit of hormetic stress, as we know. And then the lather created afterwards is expelling. You really get a deeper sweat when you're already starting to sweat from the post exercise. And I really get a good sweat going and feel great afterwards, and take a cold shower right after the sauna. It's really
Oh,
great.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I've been using my sauna right before bed, and I swear my sleep has gotten so much better because of it. It's
Oh,
kind of why
yeah.
I asked.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that, for sure, that people talk about as one of the benefits from infrared sauna is the sleep improvement for sure.